Good morning and welcome to Courtroom Chronicles, Trials of South Africa. Happy birthday, Mdase. If you are an October baby, we are celebrating you guys this month and happy birthday to you. So without wasting any time, let us get in today's business. So do you remember the story we once spoken about? The one about those two women who were shot and unalived at a pig farm in Limpopo. So, well, their case has finally gone to trial, and so much has already happened in just 2 days. So, let's talk about it. The trial of Limpopo pig farmer Zachariah Olivier and his employee William Musora officially began this week at the High Court in Polokwane. They are both accused of unaliving two women, Maria Makgato and Kudzai Ndlovu, back in July 2024. So at a place called Onverwacht Farm. I hope I said that correctly, but if not, you forgive me, guys. So according to the state, the two women were scavenging for food or scrap material at a dumping site at the farm when they were shot at. And the third person, Mabutho Ncube, somehow managed to escape, badly injured, but he's alive. So the state says the killings were planned and were premeditated. We wouldn't have known about this case or what happened on that day if Mabutho Ncube didn't escape. So the accused, Olivier and Musora, acted with a common purpose when they opened fire. So the judge, Jane Gobeni, made it clear from the start that if the accused are found guilty, the court will be mandated to impose life sentences on each of them. So on day one, the state laid out its version, arguing that this was no mistake, this was not an act of self-defense, but a planned killing. So yeah, I want us to talk more about that. But the farmer, Zachariah Olivier, through his lawyer, told a very different story. In an affidavit read in court, Olivier claimed that he and Rudolph Divet, we will speak about Rudolph later on, but he's the guy who was turned into a state witness. He's the farm, or was the farm supervisor. We're out that night when they heard noises near the dump site. He says that they fired warning shots not at anyone, but just into the dark. So they were not firing at anyone. It was not aimed at anyone. They just fired into the dark and then switched on his cell phone flashlights and they moved closer. He says he was shocked, he was frightened and frustrated by the discovery. Then he panicked, left the scene and simply went to sleep. So he did not call the police. He did not call an ambulance. He just simply went to sleep. Yeah. So now here's where things get interesting, is that the same Rudolph Divet he was with that night, he's no longer an accused now. His charges were dropped. He is now turned into a state witness. That move left Makgato's family heartbroken and angry. They say they felt betrayed, like someone who should be. I mean, how can you be facing justice and then you just walk away like that? Then came day two. Now that was day one, the one that I'm talking about, that they just shot onto the air, and then after seeing whatever they discovered, they just simply went to sleep. Now day two was yesterday, on the 8th of October 2025. So the first witness, who was Lehumo Mothiba, took the stand. She's the one who helped to rescue Mabutho Ncube, the only survivor. So if Mabutho had not survived, the two women and Mabutho would have been unalived. We probably wouldn't have known fully about this. So her testimony painted a picture of fear and confusion, of people running for their lives in the middle of the night as gunshots echoed across the farm. So, and then the most emotional moment so far was when Ranti Makgato, the son of the victim, Maria Makgato, took the stand. All of this happened yesterday. So Ranti spoke about waiting for his mother to return home that night, and about fear and the silence and the not knowing what had happened to the mom. As he started recalling what happened, he learned of her death and he broke down into tears. The court went extremely silent, and even the judge had to pause the proceedings so that he could regain his composure. So it was one of those moments where you are reminded that this is not just a story. These are real people with real families, and this is a real loss for them. So both accused, Olivier and Musora, continued to plead not guilty. They insist there was no plan to kill anyone. So they didn't plan to unalive anyone, and what had happened was just a tragic accident. Yeah, right. So of today, the 9th of October, the trial enters its third day, and more witnesses are expected to testify, and the court will continue to unpack the events of what had happened in that farm. So the trial is expected to run, like I said, we are 3 days in, if you are counting today. And what I just told you about right now is what had happened on day 1 and day 2. So it is expected to run until the 17th of October 2025. So we can expect more emotional days ahead, as families, witnesses, and all the accused will take the stand in search for justice. So I remember the story when we knew that accused number 2, Rudolf de Wet, was going to be a 204 witness, and all the charges were dropped, and he just walked away. Now he's coming for the trial. You can imagine, as a family, if you knew that 3 people were involved in all of this, and all of a sudden you see someone is walking outside free because now he has turned into state witness. Unfortunately, yeah, this is what happens. If we are all accused, if you can think back, you will remember the Jocelyn Smith case where there were 4. It was Kelly Smith, it was Stefan van Ryn, and Buddha Polis, and Urens, Lorisha Lombard. Urens turned into a 204 state witness, and now we know that she has actually walked away. It's the same thing that is happening here. So it's very painful for the family, especially when you don't understand all these things, the jargon that is being. I hope someone explained it to them, and even if they did explain, it doesn't make the pain lesser. It doesn't make the reality of that these 2 ladies are gone forever and they are not coming back. So yeah, the story is one of those that forces you to think about how easily lives can be taken and how justice sometimes takes far too long to arrive. So we will keep following this trial closely, because Maria Makgato and Kudzai Ndlovu deserve to be remembered, not as victims at a farm shooting, but as women whose lives mattered. They were mothers, sisters, aunts. You can think in of everything that you might think what were they to their families. So we will be keeping you updated, family, day by day, as this case unfolds. And make sure, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe, share, hit that notification button so that you do not miss the next update. And until next time, please keep safe, stay aware, and God bless you. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.